Hey guys, what it do? It's your boy Supreme Uchiha the God Man, and today I want to talk about One Piece. I am now 300 chapters deep, 300 chapters deep, and so I want to talk about the things I love, the things I don't really love, the things I dislike, the things I'm okay with, the things I'm meh with, just a bunch of various things about the story. It's not going to be like super orderly. This is going to be me spieling and talking about what I think of One Piece so far in 300 chapters. I'm gonna spoil it a little bit. I love it so far. I really, really do love it. There's some things that I said I don't necessarily love, but overall I think it's such a creative and interesting and fun story with serious ramifications. So I'm just gonna start off. I think I'm gonna get the nitpicky things out of the way. One thing I don't love is that so far in 300 chapters, Luffy has defeated every main antagonist that they faced. Right, every single main antagonist that they faced was defeated by Luffy. Um, why I say that is because I think it kind of undersells some of the side characters like Zoro and Sanji. Um, I think that especially when those stories were on the line, I think it should have been up to them to defeat some of the people, or even later on because they go through a myriad or a tirade of enemies, and obviously Luffy is the team captain, so it makes sense that he defeats most of the top guys or the leaders, but every time he's defeated the leader, every single time without fail. And it's a little bit disappointing. Now, Zoro usually defeats the right hand man, and Sanji defeats the other left hand man or whichever. Usopp actually does quite a lot. Actually, I love Usopp. I'm going to talk about Usopp later. But I think that part of it in 300 chapters, it's a little disappointing. So I know people hate the comparison, but I have to make the comparison, right? So if you go to Naruto, for example, right? Sasuke defeats more Katsuki members, right? Than Naruto does. Naruto defeats Pain, kind of, and kills Kakuzo. That's it, right? Pain kind of gives himself up. He doesn't really defeat him. So, but we're gonna say he defeats Pain and he defeats Kakuzo, right? That's two wins. And then all the other Katsuki members are killed in different means by different people. Sasori is defeated by Sakura. Da 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 da. Like, you get these other characters shining, and some of the strongest members are obviously he defeats the strongest member, which is Pain. But allegedly Itachi is the strongest Pain, if not stronger. Sasuke defeats him, even though again he doesn't really defeat him. But these characters get to shine against characters that are like similar level to the level of the characters that Naruto himself faces, right? Kakuso is not as strong as Sasori, right? I mean, if realistically, if we're looking at it, and who defeats him? Kisame gets defeated by Guy. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing about it. You get these characters shining. You get these characters the opportunity. Now, obviously, it's I'm skipping 600 chapters, 700 chapters per some of the scenarios. I think part one Naruto, I think he doesn't defeat the main villain either, to be honest, because Kakashi does most of that. I mean, sometimes actually, not all the time. So it's mixed. It's very mixed. But I feel like obviously in this one they don't have teachers and mentors and stuff like that. They do have mentors, I suppose, in a way, but they don't have like a teacher and stuff like that. So it makes sense that they deal with everything. But yeah, that thing just it's a little bit, but the strong part of it is the character Luffy. I think Luffy as a protagonist is sensational. I think his mentality, it's like sometimes you're questioning him. You're like, what? Why are you so like what? And then he explains his reasoning, and sometimes his reasoning is just simple, but it's like that drive he has. It's really infectious. I think it's like a less corny version of Naruto. That's what I'd like to say. I think Naruto's cornier with the believe it. I know that's just the English fucking translation, but I think it's a bit. Naruto's goal is it's too morally driven, while Luffy's goal is his own morals, but his own morals isn't always the best morals. You know what I mean? Like, he was ready to try to kill Zoro. Really, he was fighting Zoro hard when he thought Zoro, fought people that were good to him. You know what I'm saying? Without having a conversation, without discussing. Naruto would never do that. You know what I'm saying? Naruto's too good at two shoes to do that. which I think is also a positive for Naruto. But I think it makes Luffy a slightly more interesting character because sometimes his decision making aren't the best. You know what I'm saying? Um, but another character I really really love is Usopp. Man, Usopp is just you know I love that he's terrified, but he always makes the brave decision almost all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, he be freaking shaking. Like, when he defeated that guy in the desert, like, that was insane. Like, this guy can take damage. Like, we knew, to be honest, we thought he was weak when we first meet him, but you start to realize that this boy got fucking stamina. Like it is crazy. Once they hit the grand line and they make their way through, you start to realize, like, wait, when Nami gets sick from the jungle, the tiny garden, he's like, I've never been sick. Sanji's like, I've never been sick. Zoro's like, I've never been sick. And Luffy's like, I've never been sick. They're like, what the? These people are not human. How are none of these dudes ever been sick? You know what I'm saying? They don't know what being sick is, bro. Now, obviously, later Luffy does get sick, but Zoro's still yet to get sick. Sanji's yet to get sick, and Luffy and Usopp is yet to get sick. But Usopp, his creation as well, he's a smart fighter. Like, the weapon he created for Nami, super complex weapon that unless you Nami, you really can't use it. Which is great because if it falls in the enemy's hands, the chances of them using them against you is extremely, extremely low. Because Nami's like the best navigator that we've met so far. She's probably the smartest character they have on the team. I think second to Usopp, only because I think Usopp's creations are genius. You know what I'm saying? So Usopp, I think, is his IQ is higher, but I think Nami is smarter in terms of, like, just overall. You know what I'm saying? She can do everything, I think. But yeah, Usopp is sensation. I really like Nami as well. She's a strong character. Really strong morals as well. I really love her arc when we first meet her. Against Crocodile, and the fact that she joined them and she made that decision as a little child in order to protect her village, and then her village kept that a secret that they knew so that she felt no pressure if she quit. You know what I'm saying? Which was, because first when they said, like, we knew, I was like, hey, what if you treat her like trash then? What the hell? But obviously if they treated her positively and great, then she'd feel that she has no choice but to keep at it. You know what I'm saying? So that was beautiful, and that story and her raising the money for it, just for him to be like, nah, let's steal it. You know what I'm saying? To get the Navy off of him. Like, I really thought her story was fantastic, and the way her character was growing. She's still money hungry, but she was willing again to leave, the berries that they're supposed to get paid by what's Vivi's country. And then, is it Vivi? Is her name Vivi? The princess. Like, her whole country was supposed to owe her like 1 billion berries or some shit for them saving them, and she just let it go, even though she was like hurt by it. Like, not hurt by it, but she was like, oh damn it, I want my money. But at the same time, like, oh, y'all deserve freedom and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really love that about her. Like, she I think she almost uses that as a front to protect her heart, because I think that's what she's been doing for the longest time in order to protect her village. You know what I'm saying? And so I think that's kind of a part of her. Now it's become, it's like when your alter ego becomes you, or a part of you. It's no longer really an alter ego. You know what I'm saying? Batman and Bruce Wayne type situation. So I really, really love that. Zoro is my favorite character, along with Usopp. But Zoro did disappoint me. I think, okay, not Zoro necessarily. I think Oda kind of disappointed me a little bit, because I really wanted Zoro to not get defeated. You know what I'm saying? Because he made that promise that I'm not going to lose until I defeat you. Now, I'm not 100% sure. I can't remember. Please correct me in the comment section if he said I'm not going to lose against a swordman, or if he just said I'm not going to lose. But I'm pretty positive it said I'm not going to lose. And he doesn't lose for hundreds and hundreds of chapters, all the way. And this is against Hawks, by the way, that he says this. All the way up until he fights the Enru, the Kami, and he gets struck by lightning and he loses. I was disappointed by that, because I really want him to not lose. I want him to get up and then Luffy to come save him type situation, where he didn't really lose. He was about to, but he never lost. I really wanted him to keep that streak. But obviously, I'm glad that it's broken in a way, but because I love him as a character, so this is a completely biased take. I wanted him to keep his undefeated streak, but it is what it is. Luffy loses as well quite a lot. which was really interesting because he lost. You know, I said crocodile when I talked about Nami, but it's not crocodile against Nami. It's crocodile is the desert guy. Who's the first guy that they face? Wait a minute. Why did I think crocodile for some reason? You know what I mean? It's not not crocodile. Wait 1 second. I have to check this out now because it's. I really thought for some reason I was like, wait, crocodile, and then I was like, wait a minute, it can't be freaking crocodile because like that's just not. No, Arlong. Arlong is the enemy that Nami had to face. But anyway, crocodile. When Luffy faces crocodile, he loses like 3 times, gets annihilated the first time and buried alive. Second time he gets beaten again, and then he comes back, and then he finally wins. Right? I think it's 2 times. 2 times he lost. I don't know. He lost a few times anyway, but he makes it. He makes a comeback, and he gets a lot of help. He gets a lot of help. Luffy doesn't just pull shit out of his ass. I mean, sometimes he does, to be honest. Like when he was supposed to get beheaded, and then lightning just popped and struck to say that divine intervention saved him. So he definitely got plot armor. People are gonna say Luffy got no plot armor. He 1000% got plot armor. I also like that Enru was technically stronger than Luffy because we saw how he struggled to fight against Viper. I also think actually Viper is my favorite non-staying character because I know he's not going to be like staying, but he's my favorite character out of those like characters at the meeting islands. I really really loved Viper. Just the way he was so focused and so like tribalistic and so ferocious, man. This guy was driven, bro. This guy should have died like 15 times, bro. He did that shit, that move, that the reject eye, like so many times, bro. And even like Enru was shot. Like, yo, how you keep doing this, bro? Like, how do you keep how the hell you keep doing this? Like, what's wrong with you, bro? Like, chill, man. You know what I'm saying? Chill, bro. Like, you just keep doing this. So I really like that. I really like that. Like the way he just wanted to get that bell. And first we just thought, he just wants to win his land back. But to him, it was the whole story of his ancestors. It was of the warrior. It was the full story, and the fact that he did it for friendship, and the fact that, which is the weird thing as well, because he was so blinded by that he actually forgot to look around and see that and find that friendship in life himself. You know what I'm saying? Because the bell became the symbol of that warrior, and he just wanted to do that. It was very selfish in a way because, he's continuing a war for the sake of a bell, but simultaneously the bell symbolizes, them regaining the land. So I really like that. I really like how that story was told. The whole Sky Island story was sensational. I think it's my favorite arc despite Zoro losing. I think it's overall my favorite act. Just because everything about it was really, really good. I really just enjoyed how we really get to explore the different sides of the conflict. And, the Sky people were basically in the wrong. And the leader, the actual Kami, eventually admits it at the end. Like, yo, like, I can't believe it took us 400 years to realize what we did. You know what I'm saying? It really talks about colonialism and all of that, and why, people hold on to that rage. Then the colonial people are like, yo, like, that was 400 years ago. Like, why are you still fighting us? But it's still affecting them to that day. You know what I'm saying? Like, you literally are keeping the island. That's our island that we were born on from us. And then and then you taking all of the resources from it for yourself so that you can thrive. And then you wondering why we pissed off and want our shit back. You know what I'm saying? I really love that. I really love that conflict. I really love that dialogue. I really love that Luffy siding with the Sky people, kind of. But after he fights, Viper, and he sees Viper's determination and some of the people from there, he realizes as well, like, yo, like, these guys, you know what I'm saying? He has his own reason. Now, this is the thing I really like about Luffy. He has his own reason for ringing that bell. And he has technically nothing to do with these guys, but obviously benefits these guys. But his reason for ringing that bell was just so for the people on the ground to hear it. Yeah, I'm going to defeat this guy, but my goal is the people that I met that treated me well. And those are the people that I want to you know what I'm saying, do something for first. And I think that's kind of his mentality throughout. Like if you do good to him, he will die for you type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like he is the definition of ride or die. You know what I'm saying? He a real ass homie, bro. So I really like that. What else? Now the snow place where Chopper is from, I also really like that story. I like Chopper. And the way Chopper is trying to gain enough confidence to see himself or themselves as a person, and to become a brave pirate. Now, unlike Usopp, no, oh, even his fight, actually, his fight in Skyliner was beautiful. The way he won, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm a pirate. I am a man. Yeah, I can do this." Ah. I really love that moment. I really, really, he's grown on me like a ton. Like, I really, really like him. I don't really know the new woman that well yet, Rose, whatever, the hand lady that well yet, but she seems decent. But just overall, man, the whole pirates, the whole goddamn Straw Hat Pirates are lit. Meeting Ace was really interesting, knowing that Luffy has a brother. I assumed he was an orphan because he was just living in a village, and like the village mayor was the one kind of taking care of him, and then Shanks came over and stuff like that. And it turns out his brother only went pirating a few years before him, but his brother joined Whitebeard, who's going to be his enemy, which is super, super interesting. So I'm just super excited to see what more the story brings, to be quite honest. I'm super, super excited. Overall, I would say the last act, despite, again, Zoro losing and stuff, I think it's nearly a 10 out of 10. I'm not going to lie. That last Sky arc was pretty much a 10 out of 10. There's personal stuff that like I think is nitpicky that I can mention that I think is kind of irrelevant. I actually even love the story of your man's ancestor, the leader of the Jaya city, like his ancestors, like the guy with the monkeys, his ancestor being, the liar who, was telling the story of a kingdom with gold and da 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 da, and he died telling people that no, it's real, it's true. And then his warrior best friend, died telling people ring that bell so that he can hear it and know who's still here waiting for him. You know what I'm saying? And how he lived on. Both of those stories and tales lived on for 400 years, generations upon generations, and it drove, eventually drove Luffy up there. So that was beautiful. Like, I really loved that. I was reading the backstories. Normally, I hate flashback backstories of characters I've never met. But for this one, man, it was so intriguing. Even the way they went there and the way they was about to sacrifice the little girl, or the woman, the lady, whatever, to the snake. And then he pulls up and slaps that snake apart like, nah, I'm not having it. And then he's like, yeah, you can kill me and my crew if we don't kill everybody by tomorrow type shit. And he goes out, he's carrying half a freaking mountain with him. It's beautiful, man. It's beautiful. I really, really love that story. And I like the way things connect as well. Now, the powers and stuff like that are a bit weird and wonky. The power system is very fluid, I would say. It's not, I don't want to say it's inconsistent. It's just kind of, you know what I'm saying? Like, these devil fruits are all over the place. Now, obviously, there's proficiency in usage. And one thing I really liked was the Enru thing, because actually when Enru attacked Luffy, I was thinking, he's rubber. He's made of rubber. Because it showed that Luffy was going through a wall or some shit, and I was thinking in my head, like, Luffy's made of rubber, so he should actually have an easy time, which I love is the reason he won, because if he didn't have that, he would have definitely got murked, just like everybody else. And one of the things I love the most is Viper, because, bro, this guy kept getting up. He was like the Terminator, bro. He was like the Terminator. He got taken down like 79 times, and he got up 120 times. I don't know how, but he got up more times than he got taken down, man. Viper, man, and then we just standing. Oh, man, Viper was cool as hell. I might slap him on the goddamn thumbnail, because he was so sensational, man. He blew my mind away, man. He blew my world. I love Viper, man. Shout out Viper. There's probably a hell of a lot more. Yeah, Ace. I like Ace. I like his one-shot stories. Yeah, I really want to talk about those one-shot stories. Those one-shot stories are sensational. They're super fun because you get a lot of information with just one panel. And obviously, they accumulate over time. Like each panel together, if you put them together, you get kind of a narrative. Like you get the story of the guy with the munch munch fruit, and how he became a multi fucking billionaire almost off of making toys with his munch munch powers. And then you get like, Ace's story of how he ended up finding Blackbeard, because he's the one that told Blackbeard where Luffy is. And then you get the story, like, you just getting all these different stories of these characters, like, and it's dope. I really like that. Because it's not intrusive. It's not just hop thrown in the middle of the shit where you like, bro, like, I'm trying to read what's happening now. It's thrown at the start, so you get that information and you read the story unhinged, unwithered, on goddamn interrupted. You know what I'm saying? So overall, man, I just think it's been beautiful. I love One Piece right now for certain. I'm excited to see what next adventure they go to. I like that it's not a super linear story. It's a zigzag kind of story where, it's adventure. You go from point A to point B, to point A to point B, point A to point B. You know what I'm saying? Different points and different adventures. And the world is really interesting. It's really big. And I really like that you get the backstory, like, of what happens. And a lot of places have disaster already struck. Like, the worst of it already struck. Like, what Luffy and them are doing is just stopping anything more from happening. But normally this situation, like, most people already got hurt, already died, already this, already that. Like, where Chopper's from, they were already, like, the whole community was already destroyed by the Munch Munch Fruit King. And then after that, they just started rekindling. And then Luffy and them came back. And then Munch Munch came back. And then they healed even more from there. They completely healed then from there. And then with Nami's place as well, with Arlong, it's like one of the towns already got demolished by Arlong. And then with the desert people, the princess's place, like, they're already starving and famine and stuff like that. They're already going through the worst of it. And Crocodile just wanted to take over. And then, he wanted to create a war and take over. But claiming to be the hero that stopped the civil war and stuff like that. And he wanted to dethrone the king and become the king and increase his own wealth. And it's kind of like the government as well lets people like Arlong do the thing, let people like Crocodile do the thing. You know what I'm saying? It's really, really interesting as well that the world government wants these 7 Lords of the Sea out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's super, super intriguing how and why they want these guys out there and how they're kind of utilizing them to gain resources. Because basically, they take a percentage cut from these pirates, you know what I'm saying, to fund themselves. And then by doing that, they allow them to roam freely. You know what I'm saying? But if you're not with the government, then the Navy will be chasing after you all the time. I like Smoker. Smoker is really, really cool. Super interesting, super freaking strong. He's actually stronger than Luffy and Zoro and all of these guys right now, to be honest, because he slapped the brakes off all of them, bro. All of them, including what's that guy? The clown guy. I really like him. I can't think of his name right now, but the clown pirate that went to the Grand Line with the ugly lady, the fairest of them all, who actually is hot as hell since she ate the devil fruit. But yeah, so that's I really the slippery slide devil fruit. But yeah, that's nice. It's beautiful, man. It's beautiful. I just like the story, man. There's so much more to talk about, but I think I've talked about quite a lot. I try to cover as many parts of it as I can. Yeah, I really like the story, man. One Piece, I think so far 8.5 out of 10. I think the story is actually getting stronger as he goes, which is a bit weird. I think this Sky section of the story has brought it up quite a significant amount because of just how in-depth it went and how detailed it went and how you really got to understand the narrative of both sides and how he dealt with the idea of colonism and all of that in a non-biased way, really. It's like those good people from this side and then those negative from this side. And then there's also the people that are, the intention is one thing, but then, the outcome could be a negative thing. For example, LeBlanc, when he's bringing the king there, the king was definitely going to try to take no gold and probably do some crazy shit. He would have probably ended up having to fight in the king. You know what I'm saying? But it's really interesting, right? But to him, he just wanted to introduce the world to this wonderful place and these wonderful people.
and the wonderful city. Do you know what I'm saying? It's so intriguing, but I really I love the story, man. I love the story. That's all I gotta say, man. I think I understand why it's people's favorite manga or anime of all time. I completely understand. I think by the time I reach where we are, I'm where the story is. I might have this at a 9.5 out of 10. Like now, just to be like this is my rating for Naruto overall is 8.9. I think some of the war arc lowered the score for me. This is minus fillers. Some of the war arc really lowered the score for me. 8.9 is Naruto, and that's finished. I love Naruto, probably my favorite anime of all time. This one already is 8.5, and it's climbing slowly or steadily. It might surpass it. I don't know if it's. I don't think it's ever gonna be my favorite, regardless, because I think Attack on Titan so far is 9.5 out of 10, right? But I would still say Naruto means more to me than Attack on Titan, right? So how I rate things and how I like them isn't necessarily one on one, right? So like, let's say Windbreaker is like an 8.6, 8.5. It's still one of my favorite things ever to read. I love Lucasm, but it's maybe a 7.9, 7.7, maybe even less. But I still love it. I don't really care. Weak Hero is like what, a 7, 8 maybe. It's not that amazing. I don't even think it's an 8. It's probably less. It's a 7 point something. I love it. It doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Objectively and subjectively are two completely different things. So I mean, subjectively, I think One Piece is an 8.7, 8.8. Objectively for me right now is an 8.5. And then, I don't know. It's hard to say, but listen, that's all I'm saying. Right now, I'm loving it though. I'm really, really loving it. I think my rating will definitely go higher by the time I catch up. But I'm loving the story, man. Let me know what you think. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It's been your boy Supreme Uchiha the God. I'm out.